side setting the standard and the other trying to climb the mountain. And we are on the cusp of dotting the I on a great clash in this one. Welcome to the home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, Columbus, Ohio, and the old horseshoe on the banks of the Olentangy. The Nittany Lions will put total weather to crank us up. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. So the Ohio State Buckeyes offense will come out first. Every time these two meet, it feels huge. It was that way last year, Ohio State going into Happy Valley. But the script rarely seems to deviate. Penn State never seems to find a way to be able to beat the Buckeyes.
No, and this one went right down to the wire last year, too, David. Remember that? Penn State had the ball down on Ohio State's 1-yard line in the fourth quarter. A little bit of time left. They go incomplete. They're stopped. Then Ohio State just milled it. They kept the ball for 11 plays and walked out with the dub.
And the good thing is, by watching this game today, you're going to...
Intercepted, and the first drive ends with a pick. Made the play on the pick, was hoping to make one on the return. He'll have to settle for letting the offense pay it off from the 26. You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle. Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Leaves it with the back. Sweet cut there. Brought down after a good pickup, and they're in the red zone at the 20. This crowd knows when to bring it. In the gun, looking to throw on 3rd down. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down. And they're going to head out to line up for a field goal. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. It is true as he puts 3 on the board. And that'll put the first points of the game on the board. It's 3-0. So the kickoff team is out there ready to boot it away after putting up a field goal. Let's see what the defense can do. He'll bring it back from inside his spot. Excellent job by the kick coverage team. A pretty minimal gain on that return. Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. They'll run it from the gun. They're going to need to get something started, finding themselves in a 3-0 hole.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
He's knocked out of bounds, but not before he gets it to the 25.
Really good offenses are able to attack short. You've got to be able to attack the whole field to make you honor that underneath part, then the intermediate part, and then you take shots down the field. This will loosen up some shots for later in the game.
Muscling ahead on 3rd and short. Has plenty for the first down, and they stop him at the 28. These two Blue Bloods really didn't become rivals until Penn State joined the Big Ten in the early 90s. We really sense that Ohio State has been a bit of a measuring stick for Penn State.
I think we always talk about Penn State. We talk about winning the big games, and how do they play against Ohio State? A big rivalry. Palmer, it seems like...
There he goes! And he was loose and not stopped until he gets to the 47-yard line. The Buckeyes headed quickly to the line.
And how about the running back, man? Rips off a big play. This offense creates some momentum, and what do? They keep their foot on the gas, right back on the football to try to keep this offense rolling.
We've come to the end of the quarter, and it's Penn State on top. And we've reached the end of one. Before we move on, let's take a look at our stats so far. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. So they'll go back to work after changing into the field. The run from the shotgun. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Kept it on the ground on first down. Now back to the line. Trying play action. Working that left side now. stop is made at the 22. A 10-yard pickup and a first down just outside the red zone. Back to pass, it's Sayin. Looking left. It's caught. He found his man and zipped it in there, and they've got a first down in the red zone at the 11. And the Buckeyes started this drive backed up in their own end, and now they've moved into position to score. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. Going to work on second down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on first and goal. Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. And he can't quite make the connection as he was trying to pay off this red zone opportunity. Now on fourth down, they'll settle for a field goal try. Good right down the boulevard. And guys, after that field goal, brand new ball game, all tied up.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
Looks like he's going to try to return it. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. David, they couldn't pay off that last drive with a touchdown.
Now they moved the ball down the field and executed like they wanted to until they stalled out and had to settle for a field goal.
I think if you want to take the next step, too, here and score a touchdown, you got to start finding more creative ways to get your best players the ball. Let's see if they can do that here.
Handoff to the lone back. Picks up the first down. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. The clock winds down to 2 minutes, and we will take a pause for the 2-minute timeout. Now on first down from the 30. Wide receiver comes in motion. Little touch pass to the receiver. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7. The Nittany Lions are in the hurry-up. Looking to fire. Throws to the wideout. He makes a catch. There he goes. And he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Penn State!
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy, the connection between quarterback, wide receiver. You can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. Off the play fake on first down. Complete to the left. Still on his feet at the 35. Turning on the Jets. What a play to get it inside the red zone, and they are set up at the 17.
Love the individual effort by the wide receiver after the catch, making people miss, showing you the speed. Now he set up his offense down in the red zone.
Right down the middle. And the physical here forces the incompletion on first down. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. To the air, it's Sayin. Looking to the end zone. And he's on his way. He'll go all the way. Touchdown, Ohio State.
Nice job putting the drive together. Nice job punctuating the end of the first half. There's still some time left, Palmer, but they can tie this thing up right now.
Yeah, and this is a staff that has so much confidence in their offense. I like staying aggressive right here, going for 2, taking the lead into halftime, and putting a ton of pressure on the opponent.
On the move from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. This drive will start from the 19-yard line. Hand off from the shotgun. And he didn't have a whole lot of operating room after the juke. Not much room to run. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Motion from the back. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Man, all week, the Buckeyes and Nittany Lions tried to bottle up their emotions, but things just boiled over in that first half. And talk about a good, competitive game so far. Not saying this has been the best first half we've seen in the history of these two programs, but they've matched each other's intensity, and the result has been, well, a good, competitive game so far. They don't call me the most creative man in broadcasting for nothing, you know.
And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out process. And now once you get in the second half, who's going to get aggressive, Paul? Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep.
And he is snowed under. Sacked at the 7.
This defense, they are tenacious, and they've got guys up front that are athletic and that are so strong and can collapse the pocket. You saw it right there in that play action attempt.
On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. Grabbed in the middle, it's Ross. Makes his way out to the 20 before he stopped, and that'll bring up a 4th down. The Nittany Lions decide to punt it away. First time today we've seen a punter go to work. A fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. They haven't really been able to light up this scoreboard, but putting points up would be huge here. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Looking downfield, it's Sayin. He hurls one deep down the left side. And is knocked. An incomplete, the defensive back staying in phase and batting it away.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls. Against this receiver and his speed, he's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to...
He's going to throw deep right side. And it's picked off at the goal line. Takes it the other way. They finally get him down, but a huge return. Not only do they get the ball back, but man, did they set up some field position. They'll move the wide receiver. Missed receiver there. It's incomplete.
I love the quick decision that QB made there on that RPO, knowing he wanted to get it out of his hands fast. He just needs to make a more accurate throw moving forward.
They'll go back to the air on second down. Got it in the middle. It's Reynolds. Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31. The Nittany Lions come to the line in the hurry-up.
All right, defense, you got to turn the page. You just gave up an explosive play through the air, but here comes the offense going quickly. You got to get lined up now. Get ready for another one.
Wrestled down at the 26. It's a gain of 4.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down. And they got up here in the second half.
On the snap, it's Allen. They thought they could just run it on 3rd and short, but this defense was there to make the stop. And here comes the field goal unit. This whole place going to see if this kicker can operate in a sea of noise. He just barely got enough with that one and just barely kept it straight enough, too. And after the field goal, guys, they are back on top.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. From the gun, he leaves it with the back. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, it's Sayin. Catch in the middle, it's Tate. Out across the 30 mark, down at the 35 after the 10-yard gain. Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have one remaining in the half. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Looking for a huge play. And it was worth going for a chunk play, but the long pass is incomplete.
Well, you knew you were going to see it in this game, throwing the go route to one of the fastest players in all of college football. This receiver strikes fear.
Turning it on! They got him free for a big gainer to the 43.
Defensively, you'll take the slow down. You'll take 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, but you can't give up the massive plays. You got to do a better job containing the football, making him run to guys, and get him on the ground. For goodness sakes, this guy is fast, I know, but defensively, you got to swarm to the football and get him on the ground.
Offense gets set for 2nd down. We've reached a break, and Penn State is on top. 3 quarters are in the books. Time becomes a factor both in trying to hold the lead or cut into it as we take a look at the stats. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play. Gets the back moving. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Finds his big tight end. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the 1st down. The Buckeyes come to the line with a new set of downs. Looking to throw on 1st down. He's got the tight end. And this defense has its work cut out to get this dude on the ground. He was shedding serious tackles on his way to picking up the 1st. When you're dealing with the big tight end, you better get a bunch of hats around the football.
And here's the thing, Reese. These used to be big, slow tight ends. Now these guys are absolute freaks. They're so good. You can split them out wide. You can put them in the formation. They can do so much. And you see after the catch, hard to get to the ground.
This offense is going to try and grind their way to a win now. They're going to start force-feeding this guy the football, too. He's made a few plays earlier in this game, but now in the 4th quarter, it's about force-feeding him, getting some push up front, and just icing this thing.
They'll send the back in motion. Wants to throw. It's Sayin. Finds his big tight end. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening. See if they can get it done on 2nd and goal. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is looking for a play to close this deal out. They'll give it another shot on 2nd and goal from the 4. Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. The offense gets a quick timeout. At this point, every second is precious. A touchdown here on 3rd and goal really ratchets up the game pressure. Pushes toward the goal line. Touchdown, Buckeyes! They move on top here in the 4th.
And this is a running back, guys, that gets better as the game goes on. Here we are late in this one, and he's still breaking off big runs. Impressive, making people miss, showing you the speed
start the return inside his 5. Rams him with the stiff arm. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Opening play of this drive will come from their own 23. Lost a throw on first down. Caught over the middle. It's Pena. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play, trying to preserve every minute possible.
I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Basic run plays. I don't need a bunch of complicated stuff sometimes. I just need to get the first down and get the sticks moving.
Toss sweep to the left. Oh, he's got a chance. Bulldozes his way through. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground. Looking to throw on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Allen. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup. The hurry up now, second down, clock ticking. Back to pass. Unloads to the wideout. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. The defense making a play to put an exclamation point on this one, and that ought to do it.
When you're down late in the game, you got to make plays. It's really tough not to force the football. You can tell the quarterback forces the football. Defense comes up with a huge interception.
First snap of this drive will come from the 46. Give to the back. Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down. Quick timeout call by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. From the gun, running back on the move. And they're able to shove him to the turf as they stop him for a short gain. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Running out the clock seems to be a mere formality here as they are ready to snap it in victory formation.
And this is the favorite formation in the offense. This is what you want to end every game with. Victory formation, take a knee. You can tell the crowd's into it, digging it, and they're loving the victory.
With Ohio State once again taking down Penn State in this one, the Nittany Lion fans left to wonder what might have been. That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.